Hi everyone, welcome to Crafting in the Lion's Den. I'm She. How are you all this week? How have you been? I've had a pretty boring week really. Nothing interesting's really happened. I'm feeling a bit lowy still. But I did find out about some other techniques and things. On that, from my last video, I've had some really nice messages, and I want to just say thank you and take a moment just to let you know that I do really appreciate your messages. It's so nice to hear about other people's experiences, the things that they've been through, and just those kind words of support. It really does make all the difference, and that's what it's about. It's about supporting each other, isn't it? And talking about the things that are going on with us. Why are we all such closed books all the time? Just be open, and you guys are showing me just how much better it is to be open, because people are there and willing to support you. It really is lovely. So it's nearly Halloween. Yes, my favourite time of year. Usually I have the decorations up from like September, but because it's been a tough year this year, I still hadn't had them up. And yesterday, it was a sort of make or break thing where I was like, well, I'm cancelling Halloween this year. And then I ended up having a chat with someone, and they made me see it in a different way, where they said, weigh up the pros and cons in terms of do I want to sit there miserable, or do I want to at least try? Because what you're going to get, if you put the decorations up and you feel like poo after, you haven't lost anything, have you? But you put them up and you actually feel better, you've gained something. So you might as well give it a go. So I did. And yeah, I enjoyed seeing them. Unfortunately, Phoenix got a little bit scared. But yeah, it's good. It's good. And going on that, another Halloween-y thing we're going to do is make the little pot. Look at this. This little thing here. So this is a fun, again, family friendly. I know it's half term for a lot of us, for the kids. Family friendly activity. Can make your little scary pot. It's so easy to do, and they are quite sturdy. And depending on what Mod Podge you use, you can use. I said it right that time, didn't I? Mod Podge. Yeah. Depending on what Mod Podge you use, they can be waterproof as well, so you can even use it as a little flower pot. Oh, my little spooky thing. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I do like it. I really like it. Anyway, yeah, hope you like it. Give it a go. It's something fun to try. I just want to say I hopefully will be uploading a video on Saturday as well. That's the 30th of this month. And that's going to be part of a collaboration with a lot of other artists, but based on Claire's Crafty Corner. If you haven't seen her, check her out. She's awesome. She's got a channel, but there'll be a collaboration of all of us random makers that are going to have videos up, which she's going to collate and put all together in one playlist. So they're just spooky makes for Halloween. Woohoo! Anyway, as always, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Have a good Halloween. The first thing you're going to do is grab some tin foil, and you're going to take a decent section of it, like I've got here, a big square of it. I've then taken a bottle of Mod Podge, but you can use a jar, a can, anything you want, basically just to get the shape of the style of pot that you're going for. I just wanted a plain pot, and this was to hand, so I thought, there we go. That's perfect. And you see, I'm just folding the foil around it so that it takes the shape of it. It doesn't need to be super neat. It just needs to have a good sturdy shape and be able to hold that shape by itself. There we go. So I'm taking that out, and then I'm just going to make it a little bit stronger by firming up the edges and folding over the foil at the top, just rolling it down, and that's going to make the structure a bit more sturdy. And can even make it into a shape, you know, like a classic swan, whatever. But yeah, just the world's your imagination, your oyster, whatever I'm trying to say. I've really lost the plot. I know I'm trying to say something about this. Basically, let your creativity go wild and create a pot of dreams, a pot of wonder. I'm just using my Mod Podge bottle again to shape it, pressing it down, because when you know yourself that once tinfoil compacts, it does get quite strong. So I'm just trying to squish it as much as I can to make sure it's going to hold that structure. And then once happy with it, we're going to put it to the side. So next up, you're going to need a cup of water and some toilet roll. We're going to tear off bits of tissue a little bit at a time and just dampen it a little bit. We're not talking about making it completely soaking, because then it will just fall apart. So we just want little droplets for now. You can see that on the tissue. I've just made it a little bit wet, and we're just going to wrap that around our pot. We want to make sure all of the foil is covered, and that is all you're going to be using at this point, just water and tissue. You want to make sure that it's all overlapped nicely and it's a decent thick layer of tissue that's being used here. And again, as you're doing it, once you've got those first few sheets on to make to get that first layer on rather, then you can actually just start sprinkling the water onto the pot itself and then add in tissue to it as you go, rather than put it on the tissue first, because then it's got something to stick to now that's covering the foil. And again, if you have done like a shape or something, made a funky edge or created some sort of mystical animal out of the foil, be sure to try and stick to the shape of it. The tissue will literally mimic the foil, so that's why it's important to sort of mould it as you go if you want a different shape. So I want it to be relatively flat, but I still want it to have like a little bit of kind of, you know, that recycled look, because it's an eco-friendly project, isn't it, this one? And again, it's completely family friendly. There's nothing toxic used in this, and you can let your creativity go wild. My little Phoenix made his own pot as well, and he's so proud of it. He keeps it on the windowsill in his room, and he puts all his treasures in it. But it's a good one to do with the kids. So make sure you don't forget to do the inside of the pot or animal or whatever it is that you're making. We want to make sure every bit of foil is covered, because it's not going to work if the foil isn't covered. So again, making sure that you're keeping the tissue reasonably damp. So remember, it's not soaking wet. It is just damp enough so that it's going to hold the shape of what you are doing and what you are trying to create. I wanted a nice smooth rim for the pot, so I'm just taking some extra sheets there and putting it over the top to make it a nice finish. As you saw there, I was rolling it on the table as I was pressing it down to try and make sure that it's staying in that cylindrical shape. But there we go. You can see it's really starting to take form now, isn't it? And pushing it down and shaping it. I have sped this up and it just does keep wobbling, and I'm sure I wasn't this shaky while I was doing it. I think it's just because it's sped up, so I'm wobbling all over the place. I do apologise. But yeah, you can see there, look how nice and flat that top bit is. Once you're happy, you're going to leave that overnight to dry. Put it on a radiator, that's what I did, and it dried out beautifully. Got Mod Podge, and I'm chosen the gloss Mod Podge. This is my pot, dried, and as you can see, it is quite solid now, and that's the thing that we're looking for. From here, you're going to choose a fancy napkin. I got these from the pound shop. and I like the print on them, the pumpkins. So I thought, yeah, let's do something out with those pumpkins because it's Halloween and I love Halloween. And you know, I'm just going to keep this up all year round because, yeah, why wouldn't you? But, you know, it's not a thing. There's plenty of patterns to choose from on napkins, flowers or animals, whatever. Even for children's ones, to get some Paw Patrol things going. So you're just going to grab your Mod Podge and make a layer of Mod Podge all over your pot. It doesn't matter if it seeps through the napkin. We're going to go over the napkin anyway. So make sure you can do a nice big thick layer of Mod Podge on there. And as you can see, I want the whole thing covered so that our napkin's going to stick to it. So I'm taking a sheet there. So I cut it up just to try and keep the design nice and uniform. And just placing it over the pot. See, I'm not worrying too much about being the edges being neat at the moment because we're going to sort those out after. Take some more of the podge. I love that word, podge. Take some more of the podge and we're going to cover the napkin that we've just stuck on there. The podge is going to dry completely clear and glossy because I've chosen the gloss one, but you can do whatever finish you want. You can even mix it with some glitter if you want some sparkle in there, like we did for that pumpkin. Do you remember that we did a couple of weeks ago, the shiny pumpkin? Yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on my video list. And just cover it, nice big thick layer, because this is going to be our coating. You can also use the Mod Podge that's either dishwasher safe or the outdoor one, and that will make it water resistant. So you could even use this as a little flower pot. You would need to probably wait the full month that it takes for the Mod Podge to completely dry for the waterproof ones. But, you know, it will be worth the wait. So we want to make sure that all that napkin's covered. You see the top there where it was all flapping down? I'm using the Mod Podge in nice thick layers to stick that down into the pot. You might have noticed that I didn't put any napkins far down in there. It's just folded onto over the top. There is a reason for this and we'll get to that. If you wanted the design to continue all the way through the pot, then you'd put some napkins on the inside as well. I just wanted it over the rim and that's it. So I'm securing that down and I'm going to leave that to dry. Now that it's dry, you can have a look. Look at that beautiful shine. It almost looks like a ceramic of some sort. And you can see there where I've left the edges, which haven't been covered by napkin. This is the handy tip about reusing your resin. That was a little Ouija board thing that went wrong. So now it's a paint palette. So easy to wipe clean and I use it all the time. I've just got some black acrylic paint and that is going to be what I'm painting on the base of my pot and what I want the inside of the pot to be. I wanted it to be plain black. So you, again, entirely up to you. If you want to keep it just all patterned with your napkin, then do so. If not, add your paint in there. I just thought this made it a little bit of a more finished effect. Because it's a specific design, isn't it? It's particular pumpkins. It's not like a repeating pattern. It is a picture. I thought it would be better to do it this way rather than when it's a repeating pattern, you can just put it over the whole thing and cover any excess areas that need doing. It wouldn't really work with this. So once you've done your paint and you're happy with it, we're going to leave it to dry. As you can see there, it's all covered. And this is my pot all dry. And we're going to just do the same again with the Mod Podge. Again, using a gloss, I'm covering all of the bits that I've painted in a nice thick layer of Mod Podge. Once I'm happy that it's covered, I'm going to leave that to dry. And that is your beautiful finished pot. Depending on the Mod Podge that you've used, it has different drying times until it is fully usable for whatever it is that you want to use it for, but check the pot that you're doing. So I've left this to dry. Let's have a look at what it looks like. And there we go. Look at that. I want to put some spooky music in the background. I don't actually know how. But what do you think? I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to see what you come up with. So please do tag me. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.